Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. State leaders call for a special election for January of 2023. Petersburg police investigate the shooting of 2 juveniles Monday afternoon. Colonial Heights delays its real estate tax payment deadline. And an update on Hopewell's finance reports sends sparks flying in a city council meeting. Those stories and more when we return after this.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, foot-long hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
It's time you heard. The best fried chicken doesn't come out of a bucket or a box. You'll find it fresh out of the deep fryers at Breeze Inn. Virginia's finest chicken. Succulent, juicy chicken with a crispy coating. Hungry for more? Try our pulled pork barbecue, real Philly cheesesteaks, and mouth-watering burgers. Home to Virginia's finest chicken. And oh yeah, we've got a convenience store too.
Welcome back to the LNN studio. First, let's take a look at state news. Virginia's general funds revenue came in higher than predicted for the month of October, despite the Commonwealth issuing $88 million in tax rebates to taxpayers. Compared to October of 2021, the October 2022 revenue was higher by over 10%. Despite these positive numbers, state officials are concerned about revenue for the remainder of 2022, citing the Federal Reserve's actions in an attempt to slow inflation. Secretary of Finance Stephen Cummings stated, quote, "Wage growth and price inflation have supported tax collection so far this year. However, changing economic conditions and Fed policy are heightening our concerns about growth in the second half of the fiscal year. Aggressive actions by the Federal Reserve to halt inflation are likely to result in an economic downturn that significantly impact tax revenues," end quote. Governor Glenn Youngkin echoed that concern about future outlooks, saying, quote, "Recent economic data remains mixed, and we're closely monitoring consumer indicators like sales and use revenues, whose upward trends are unlikely to continue long term. The impact of sustained inflation and misguided actions out of Washington have undermined consumer confidence and employment growth nationally," end quote. While the financial gains may not continue at the same rate, other economic factors were positive in the latest finance report, including wage growth and a strong labor market. The number of employed Virginians in September 2022 was 3% higher than in September of 2021, an increase of 123,000 workers. Virginia state officials have set the date for a special election. Governor Youngkin and State Senator Louise Lucas jointly announced on Tuesday, November 15th, that the special election will take place on Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. The purpose of that election is to elect a state senator to represent Virginia's 7th Senate District, the seat formerly held by Senator Jen Kiggins. Kiggins resigned from that position on November 15th in preparation for assuming her new seat representing Virginia's 2nd Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. Candidates wishing to run for the vacated Senate seat must file by the deadline of Monday, November 21st in order to run. Requirements for candidacy can be found on the Virginia Department of Elections website, elections.virginia.gov. We'll be back with local news after this.
I love being at home. I mean, you do get a lot done. For instance, I just got pre-qualified for a home loan online with BSV. So be a homebody. Visit bsvnet.com to see what you qualify for.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elvon.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elvon.
We're chiropractors and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, plant-based products, vape nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Welcome back to the studio. Let's turn now to local news. On Sunday, November 13th, Petersburg Dispatch received a call at 12:22 p.m. reporting a fire in the 200 block of Witten Street on Pocahontas Island. Petersburg Fire and Rescue arrived on the scene at 12:27 p.m. and found heavy fire and smoke showing from the front of a two-story frame single-family home. At 12:33 p.m., 4 firefighters entered the structure with zero visibility to rescue a woman in her 60s and her dog. The woman was taken to a nearby hospital by the Southside emergency crew, and the dog was taken to a vet by Petersburg Animal Control. At this time, there is no update on the condition of the woman or the dog. 7 Petersburg Fire and Rescue units, including the Southside emergency crew, were on the scene, and they were able to gain control of the fire within 20 minutes. The house has severe smoke and fire damage, and the cause of the fire is under investigation, but it is believed to have begun on the first floor. A second resident of the home was not there at the time of the fire. The Red Cross was called to help the displaced resident, and Chesterfield Fire and EMS provided backup at Petersburg stations while city crews worked to put out the fire. The Petersburg Police Department is investigating the Monday afternoon shooting of 2 juveniles. Around 3:15 p.m. in the afternoon of November 14th, PPD received a report of shots fired in the area of Lincoln Street and Grant Avenue. Additional calls were received that reported persons injured as a result of that gunfire. Responding officers who arrived on the scene discovered 2 victims, both juveniles, who were subsequently taken to an area hospital. Their injuries were non-life-threatening. Petersburg police are conducting an investigation of the incident and ask for anyone with information to contact the Petersburg Dinwiddie Crime Solvers at 804-861-1212 or p3tips.com. The City of Hopewell's financial reports have been in disarray for several years, with city staff struggling to pull together the necessary numbers and reconcile them in order to file those reports. Now an update from the city's finance director has sent sparks flying among city councilors. LNN's Chai Gallahan has the details.
At the last Hopewell City Council meeting, Finance Director Michael Terry updated the status of the city's annual financial reports, beginning with 2019.
But we're still scheduled to have the audit issued at the end of 22. The water renewal staff and the treasurer's office still have open and non-complete PVC items. Everybody has really been working very diligently.
If you're saying we're working diligently, what does that even mean? I would like to see a spreadsheet of what we need, where we are, but there's moving targets with your deadlines. When we give you what you need, there's always another reason why it's not working. Working diligently, I need to know, what does that even look like? If it's not the schools, then what's holding us up?
Like what, that's what I'm saying.
Cash,
So the treasurer's office,
cash reconciliation, the same thing I've been saying for 3 months.
All right. But what about it is cash reconciliation today, but a couple months ago it was the schools and the treasurer's office. We don't want to find out, one thing was mentioned, but oh yeah, there's been this other issue. We just need to know like what it is so we can figure out what to do to fix it.
Mr. Terry does not have any control over the treasurer's office as a constitutional officer.
If that is the
he
case,
cannot, I've got the floor. He cannot tell her what she is doing or what she cannot do. He's helping her, but just like the school systems, he does not control them. He's waiting for information. Not one of us sitting up here went to the school boards and demanded that they go after their finance people and get them done because they destroyed records. I'm not giving him an out. He cannot do anything about that except tell us constantly that the cash reconciliations are not done. And cash reconciliations are key to what we're going to be doing in accounting. And you can and ah and do whatever you want, but if you sit there and point the blame,
nobody's pointing the blame.
I'm talking.
I understand.
To other people that are making comments.
But please do not use any. Don't do that.
I'm not mentioning any names, so please ask that person to quit going.
Councilor Randolph.
All I'm asking is that we look at what's going on and what's been said.
I don't know anyone on this council who has the education that Mr. Terry does. And I respect him 100%.
Reporting from Hopewell, this is Chai Gallahan for LNN.
LNN will continue to follow the Hopewell finance story as further details and reports unfold. We'll be back with more local news in a moment.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Keep your home comfortable and quiet with the new energy-efficient Daikin Fit system. Right now at Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air, we're offering a $1,000 rebate on any new Daikin Fit HVAC system. Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air, service that's revolutionary.
The most rewarding part of my day would be seeing the residents putting a smile on their faces, especially if I have family members come up to me and say, "Oh, my loved one, they said they did this with you and they loved it," and that just makes me feel like I'm making a difference in their lives. My name is Chrissy Roth. I'm the Memory Care Activities Coordinator at Dunlop House. We definitely make a difference in the lives of our residents, and I would encourage anyone to come to Dunlop House and see what we're all about. Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
Residents of Colonial Heights now have a little more time to pay their real estate taxes. The Tuesday, November 15th deadline for that tax payment is now being pushed back to Monday, December 5th. According to the city, the vendor that prints and mails those tax bills dealt with some issues that delayed the mailing of the bills. To give residents a little more leeway due to that error, members of City Council voted to approve the new December 5th deadline. City staff reminds residents to send their bill along with their payment if they mail in their taxes, and to bring their bill with them if they opt to pay in person. There's also a drop box in the City Hall parking lot, and residents may pay by electronic check or credit card on the city's website. There is a 2% fee for credit and debit card payments. Art can heal the soul, and that belief is on full display at the Petersburg Area Art League. New president of PAL, Bill Nicholson, invited fellow Barbara Sinatra Children's Center board member Beverly Johnson to Petersburg for a feature exhibit to show how art is used in the healing process for children. Both spoke on the importance of the exhibit and of the center itself.
At the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center, we have curated a collection of art therapy pieces created by children who are physically and sexually abused. And it is part of the healing process. The art therapy helps children express what they don't know how to express with words. So we did our first exhibit in New York at Grand Central Station in July, and when I saw the exhibit in New York, I thought we've got to bring this to Petersburg.
It's really revealing, and it's really compelling, and it's sometimes very difficult to look at and read, but it gives you an insight into what goes on in a victim's mind, particularly a child. And what you'll see is an abused child come into the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center, and they draw pictures and everything, and it's, you know, a lot of turmoil and dark drawings and words. And as they continue with the therapy and the program at the center, you see them getting well. So you also see them transforming.
A collection of art therapy works by abused children who receive treatment through the Sinatra Center is currently displayed in the PAL building at 7 East Old Street in Petersburg. The exhibit will be on display at PAL through November 30th. For more information on the Children's Center, visit barbarasinatrachildrencenter.org. The Historic Poplar Lawn Association will host its first annual Light Up Poplar Lawn event at the Historic Poplar Lawn Park, located at 351 South Sycamore Street, on December 3rd from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Petersburg's Christmas Parade, beginning in Old Town, will pass Poplar Lawn Park, adding to the excitement and festivity of the event. The judges' stand for the annual parade will be in front of the fountain at the park's main entrance, and Petersburg Parks and Rec will provide bleacher stands along Sycamore Street for attendees who would like to watch the parade as it passes the park. Light Up Poplar Lawn is a free family event and will include a tree lighting in the park, live music, face painting, visits with Santa, local food trucks, a gingerbread house with crafts, caroling, hot chocolate, and a sidewalk tour of the neighborhood's decorated historic homes. Attendees can also vote for their favorite decked-out home in the Holiday Decorating Contest. The Historic Poplar Lawn Association is hosting Light Up Poplar Lawn in conjunction with Petersburg Parks and Recreation. For more information on the event and the Historic Poplar Lawn Association, visit poplarlawn.org/events/Christmas and poplarlawn.org. We'll have sports and weather in a moment.
Hourglass Realty Group.
Opening the door to your next journey.
Warning, these products contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The Vape Guys is where you'll find hundreds of e-liquids and a huge selection from salt nic options and disposables to hemp-based products and detox. The Vape Guys make you the star with their loyalty program, superior service, unrivaled selection, and the passion for vaping you deserve. The Vape Guys, 536 South Park Boulevard, Colonial Heights.
Welcome back. We now go to G. Anadipe for the sports update.
Did you miss me? Well, of course you did. Anyway, here's this week's NFL Power Rankings. Coming in at number 1 are still the Philadelphia Eagles, who are no longer undefeated. They are now 8-1 after losing to the 17th ranked Washington Commanders. Coming in number 2 are the Minnesota Vikings, who are also 8-1. Number 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4, believe it or not, are the Miami Dolphins. As you can tell, we have a Miami Dolphin fan in the studio. Coming in at number 5 are the Buffalo Bills. Now, speaking of the Buffalo Bills, they are one of many teams who are interested in signing receiver Odell Beckham Jr. Now, this superstar receiver is fresh off of a Super Bowl win, as well as an ACL injury. Now, despite the injury, Odell's services are still in high demand. Other interested parties include teams such as the Green Bay Packers, the New York Giants, as well as the Dallas Cowboys. In other NBA news, the Boston Celtics have worked their way back up to our number 1 slot in our power rankings, with an 11-3 record thus far. Number 2 are the Milwaukee Bucks, who are also 11-3. Number 3 are the Denver Nuggets. Coming in at number 4 are the Trailblazers, and number 5 are the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, in other NBA news, Kyrie Irving is still serving that minimum 5-game suspension. Now, this comes after he posted a link to a movie that contained anti-Semitic and other offensive content to his social media Twitter page. Now, again, this is a minimum 5-game suspension. Remember that. He's been given a list of tasks that he should complete before he can actually return back to playing with his team. Now, among those tasks, of course, are things such as completing that minimum 5-game suspension. Then, of course, he has to apologize for the post. Then he has to also donate $500,000 to an anti-hate group or organization. And, of course, sensitivity training. Now, this week, Kyrie has missed game number 7. So this shows that he's not in much of a hurry to complete this list. But who knows? Anyway, we'll keep you updated on these things and more when I see you again. That's it for sports. Back to you, Cameron Day.
Thanks, G. Now we go to Chai, the weather guy, Gallahan. Chai, how's the weekend weather looking for us?
As they say in Game of Thrones, Carolyn Day, winter is coming. Well, winter is here. While it's not technically winter, it certainly feels like it. Friday and Saturday start off the weekend pretty chilly with lots of sunshine. Highs near 50 and lows near 28. Be sure to keep your animal friends warm because it's going to get cold. And if you think that's cold, Sunday drops to a high near 43 with plenty of sun and a low of 22. Monday through Wednesday slightly warm everything up, again with highs starting at 49 and progressing to 60. However, the lows start at 29 and don't get too much warmer. So do keep those animal companions in mind because their fur can only do so much against the frigid outdoor temperatures, and you might want to wear some gloves and a jacket, especially when you start your car up. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks, Chai. That's it for this week's newscast. We'll see you next Thursday for the latest local news. In the meantime, be sure to follow LNN USA on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for watching LNN, News by the People, for the People.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Chai Gallahan.
Major media companies have editorialized reporting and called it news. The free press was never designed to be journalistic interpretation of the facts. LNN USA is committed to reporting facts about issues important to you, but the free press is anything but free.
LNN USA exists to serve our fellow citizens. As a locally owned and operated digital news network, we forego the expensive printing presses, costly production plants, and corporate overhead. Your membership dollars are primarily used to pay local reporters to cover local news. Reporters dedicated to investigative news and features that matter. To do that, we need your support.
Become a member, and you'll receive the LNN Insider Weekly Email, a 40-page magazine packed full of news and features you won't find anywhere else. Membership also includes full access to LNN News broadcast archives, LNN Insider magazine archives, extended interview clips not aired in the weekly broadcasts, and more.
Your membership supports local independent reporting free from corporate and political pressure and agendas. Become an LNN member today by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page.